Hello everyone. In honor of our upcoming this Sunday V5 event, I am going to be showcasing a handful of decks this week that are all V5 legal decks. Each of them has a bit of flavor that's a little bit off the traditional beaten path for what I think most of the decks that we're going to see are going to be. So here, I've thrown together what I call the Brujah Diversion for V5. This is the three best vampires that can play Diversion in at least 66% of its capacity. So we've got Saku. Saku is amazing, getting a free optional maneuver, while being a Baron with a very relatively undisputed title. Is really, really good. On 8 cap, that's not even that high. You got Gwen Lillian, who may not be Anarch, but that inherent +1 strength is really going to give you an edge in a lot of combats. Also, a virtual stealth ability is quite good when you want to get actions through. And of course, Lumea, very well priced for the discipline spread and for being a Baron. Very hard to beat. We got a couple Anarch converts in here, just in case we need Gwen Lillian to be what we want her to be, which is obviously Anarch, so she can play Diversion too. So we're running some of the standard Anarch stuff, Anarch Free Press, a couple of Libertas. You really should be running Libertas. A couple of power base LAs. I really like this card overall. I think it's a good cycling card. It could get stolen, but you've got some interesting interactions that you can do if you're playing it right, by playing things like Protection Racket, Organized Resistance, that'll maybe give you an option to get some free combats out of this card just existing. Plus it gives you some unlocks here and there if you happen to somehow be flooding out on diversions, but you're probably doing something wrong if that's the case. Running one Fee Stake LA, just in case we want Gwen Lillian to be a Baron. May come up in a couple of situations. Only a handful of various cards for combat. 5 Line Brawl, 5 Make. It's a decent rushing package. You don't want to go a little overboard. And then a small bleed package of 5 Show of Force. Just enough to push some stuff through to surprise somebody that maybe wasn't expecting it. You got a Para Resist Earth's Grasp. I think this is fine. Maybe this could use a little bit more. Little uncertain here, but I think 2 is about right, maybe going up to as much as 4, but there's obviously some limits here. You could take down a couple of diversions, but why would you do that? We're also running, again, that reaction package. We threw in a handful of bait and switches as well, just because if a bleed does get big, nice to push it forward. 8 disarms. This may feel like a lot, but diversion gives you a lot of leverage when you are trying to disarm somebody. Remember that you only have to deal more damage. You don't have to deal a lot of damage. 1 point of damage is more than 0. If you take 0, that's 1 point more. You can additional strike and prevent in the same turn with 2 separate diversions. So you have a lot of value in being able to disarm fairly easily. Also playing a handful of dust ups, because when you're not grappling, which you probably will do frequently, you may want to dodge for that additional strike that you get, or you may want a larger punch just because maybe by some chance your opponent is also preventing. And then 6 tastes. You should be up on blood as much as you can be by tasting, and you should be winning most combats. And then a quad set of flashes just to get you the distance in that you need to do. You need to be just in case. I think it's an interesting package. I definitely think there's room for work with it, but the only way to work with it is to test it, and the only way to test it is to play. And that event is this Sunday, the 10th of September, and we're starting about 1500 CEST. I hope to see you there. Thank you.